Welcome to The Other Side of the Page, a bookish podcast where we yap about the books we love
and the songs that give us main character energy.
We're here to sift through the chaos that is our TBR.
And to let you know why a book might just be your next favorite read.
I'm Britt, dramatic plot twist lover and champion for MMCs needing to be more pathetic and down bad.
And I'm Hannah, reader of at least 5 books at once and a detailed fantasy map enthusiast.
Every Wednesday, press play on a brand new bookish episode.
Stay up to date with the books we'll be covering by following us on social media at Other Side of the Page Pod on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads.
And don't forget to follow, rate, and review the podcast a shining 5 stars on your preferred platform. It helps us so much with visibility. And this week, we have a very special Manuscript episode where we are welcoming the USA Today bestselling author of Love is a War Song, Danica Nava.
Welcome, Danica.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Do you want to take a second to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yes, I am Danica Nava, author of Love is a War Song and The Truth According to Ember. And I may have hit the USA Today bestsellers a few times in a row. What?
Maybe.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So excited.
I am an enrolled citizen of the Chickasaw Nation, and I live in Southern California with my husband and daughter. I still have a day job, hopefully soon I can just write full time. We'll see. I'm just one of you guys, I'm one of the girls. I'm just like
yes,
your average writer who's trying to get by. But yeah, my debut was The Truth According to Ember was nominated as the Goodreads best debut, my favorite debut, and it's been seen and reviewed in the New York Times and Los Angeles Times, a lot of the times, and yeah, that's who I am.
Amazing. Perfect. All right, everyone. So grab an iced coffee
or iced chai
and let's turn the page together.
So, dear reader, as you probably know, we are in love with the romance genre. So when we saw this novel floating around, we had to read it.
Yeah, we are suckers for hot cowboys. Mix it in with a grumpy sunshine. Put a fish out of water, especially fish out of water. That's one of our underrated favorites. So we are completely sold. So can you tell the listeners a little synopsis about Love is a War Song? Any trigger warnings or stuff that they should be aware of for the book?
Yes. So Love is a War Song is a contemporary romantic comedy starring Indigenous characters. So this time we are in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and the characters primarily feature Muskogee. It's in the heart of Muskogee Nation, and so that was really integral to the story. It stars Avery Fox, who is a child actor turned pop star who is on the cusp of reaching superstardom. She has a hit single called I Need a Warrior Tonight. She's been featured on the cover of Rolling Stone wearing a bedazzled feather war bonnet and not Michelle's, which, is offensive. And so the internet turns on her and she starts getting threats and her shows get canceled. And so her mother, who has raised her alone in Los Angeles, decides to send Avery to her estranged mother's house in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma at Red Fox Ranch, where Avery learns about family she never knew about and her Muskogee roots. And there is Lucas Iron Eyes. He is the ranch hand who's been working there for 16 odd years, who hates Avery, her song, her music, and everything she stands for, and does not want her there. Mm-hmm. But the ranch is in financial trouble, and Lucas wants to save it. So they make a truce that he will teach her what it means to be, quote, Indian, if she helps him save the ranch. But it's purely transactional, no horsing around, but where's the fun in that? Right. Trigger warnings would be, mentions a loss of a family member. It doesn't happen on the page, but there's mentions of it. Substance abuse mentions sexual assault, and there is a reference to the term savage.
Perfect. It was such an amazing book. And before we dive into more details about Love is a War Song, obviously in the podcast, as you guys know, we assign songs to books. So of course we asked Danica to assign a song to the book. And now we're going to reveal all of our song choices. So Danica, what song did you bring with you today? And we'll break it down a little bit later too.
Yes, I brought Asanabi's Here and Now.
Which I listened to your playlist too. And I heard the song on there.
There's also a line in the book from the song, the lyrics that's in there.
Ooh. Oh, love that
book. But then I was validated in my song choice when I saw this song on your playlist too. But I picked Cowboy Take Me Away by the Chicks.
It's so good. I picked a little off the beaten path song, but I listened to it and something about it kind of screamed Avery and Lucas to me in a very subtle way. And I picked Name by the Goo Goo Dolls. So excited to chat about that a little bit. But now we're going to move into our Pages Turned and Bridges Burned section. And if you have not read Love is a War Song yet, first of all, what are you doing? Please go pick it up. Let's continue to keep this on the USA Today bestselling list. That would be amazing. But if you have not read it yet, you are in the clear now. We are currently in our spoiler-free zone. We are in our Avery Fox is canceled zone. We will let you know before we get into spoilers. So we're going to talk about writing process, all that fun stuff. So Danica, let's just get started with like, what does your writing process look like? Are you a visualizer? Are you a pantser? Are you a heavy outliner? Or do you just run on vibes? Like, what's the energy here?
Well, it depends on the project. I have a screenwriting background and sketch writing comedy. So I did screenwriting undergrad, and then I took screenwriting at Second City in Chicago when I was living there during the pandemic. And I wanted to be a sketch writer. My dream, like when I was 14 until like end of high school, I wanted to write sketches on Saturday Night Live and create characters. So I am a very visual person, and I have done improv for years, with the same troupe for years. And I did dabble in some stand-up, though. Like I would say I had like one show that was like phenomenal, and the rest like I bombed terribly. But comedy is so important to me. So I would say that like I'm a comedy writer first and foremost, at least like in the stage with these rom-coms.
Totally.
Because the comedy is just so important to me. Like I read everything out loud after I've written it and like reviewed it, and I read it to my husband. And if he's not laughing hard enough, I like rewrite the joke and rework it because I want it to be funny. And also like when you read a book, when you hear it, especially with The Truth According to Ember, my debut, like if you read it out loud, there's jokes on jokes that are like kind of layered. And I would say that Arrested Development taught me that. Where I was obsessed with that show, how quirky and silly. But then if you watch it with the subtitles, I'm like, oh my God, there's like more jokes here. Like I didn't even catch. So my process is definitely, it's evolved now that I've been on contract. Like before it was definitely more vibey, but I really love Save the Cat beats. So I'll do an outline and it's broken down by beats. And then I have the scenes of where I think things fit. And I actually have this board. I love, I took all the things off of it, but this is actually the board I used for Love is a War Song. So it's like Blue's career, Avery on the set of her music video, like there's remnants of Love is a War Song. I love that. But I like to put, as I'm visualizing, I break it into acts, and then I actually have subheaders for the beats, and then I'm got Post-it notes as I'm coming up with ideas. And then I write a pitch, like a query pitch. Like the blurb of the back copy. And that's kind of my North Star of like, okay, this is like marketing copy. It's hooky. Yeah. I need to keep to that. And if I steer wrong in the manuscript, how do I get back to that? And then I like to do a synopsis that's like, 1 to 5 page. I don't like to do anything more than 5 pages. God forbid. Do not make me do that. Single space. I don't do this, but like I can't. I feel like I've told myself the story. I get bored. And then writing in sprints. I am very busy. I have a day job and a toddler, so I don't have a whole lot of time. So I have my notebooks. I sticker bomb my notebooks.
Love stickers.
My old one had Marlowe stickers from her
Obsessed.
release. But I do like squares. And so I try to do a minimum of 4 20-minute sprints a day. Like that's what I can commit to myself. But often I've done more, like sometimes I did 8. And then sometimes like I'm just on a roll and then I forget to time myself and I just keep writing. But that's how I get word count in. And, I have taught myself now, like for my 3rd book with Berkeley, that's going to come out next year. Don't look back. Just keep writing and like make notes of like, I changed something here. Like I changed the love interest's name. He was originally Eli, and my friend's son is Eli. And then like, she was kind of like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, let me change it. So like, so then I had to go back and like fix it, but like, just don't go back. Don't read over it. Just keep writing. Just keep going. I don't like to do placeholders. I'll do placeholders if it's like I'm in a zone. I don't like insert a funny joke, like something punny here, and I'll fix it later. But I try not to do that because I write in chronological order. I love starting a book. Yeah. And that first act really flies out of me. Generally, I get that out so quickly, and that break into act 2, I love it. And then you kind of have the murky middle, So you try to keep the fun and games and the shenanigans and like upping the tension, make something go wrong. And then I suck at third acts. So I got nothing. If I don't know. I throw those together with nothing more than a hope and a prayer.
Listen,
Well,
it
you
obviously
surprised me because it's
it's
great.
working. Yeah,
You know?
we're
And
doing
I feel
great
like we're
here.
critical about like third acts. So
Yeah,
if
Well,
we
we
like
can be
it,
very
then-
picky.
We're writers, we're sensitive artists. And so my books aren't short. Like they're 94,000 Love is a War Song is, and Ember's 97,000. So about close in length. And then people are like, the ending was so rushed. And I'm just like, was it rushed or just did so much happen? Because I love the rom-com and it's like a tight 90s script, right? And those things do happen very quickly. And I feel like if you kind of drag out, you're kind of like, what? The tension's kind of gone. And then, Avery is quite young. And so, like, I'm not going to do a epilogue 5 years in the future. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like it's been earned at that point. So, like, I make decisions
100%.
that I think are right for the characters in that moment. And, like, maybe I should have. I think some people, they don't like prologues and they don't like epilogues and they'll skip them. So, I did not know that people will skip these things. And I'm like, you're crazy. You're going to just not read some stuff in the book? Like, why just
Hannah does that sometimes.
So
and
I was like,
you're
are you
crazy.
okay?
I don't prologues. I like prologues. Epilogues sometimes. I never skip them, but I am unhappy reading them sometimes.
Oh, see, like I thought that's just like what you call the last chapter, and so like there's things that like come full circle in the epilogue on purpose. Like with Ember, like you cannot skip the epilogue with Ember or Love is a War Song, or you're gonna miss crucial information.
Yes, exactly. I think I've
gotten better. I've gotten better, yes.
But
it's not a slice of life. It's like there's plot, thematic things where like there's the action of the moment they get together, but then like full circle, like with Ember, the brother, because that wasn't something that can just resolve itself.
Like,
so it was a couple months in the future. And then with Love is a War Song, spoiler free, but like it comes full circle.
Yes. Exactly.
But what was your inspiration behind Love is a War Song? Why this story?
Yeah. It's a horse book that I always wanted to read. I always want to like, I'm making this into a movie. Like being that don't exist. I'm going to do it myself. I've got an MBA. I'll figure it out. I'm going to do it.
Listen,
but
obsessed.
I watched this movie. I don't know if you've heard of it or if your listeners have heard of it. It's a little indie full of nobodies, but it's called Hannah Montana the movie.
Yes. Okay. I discovered that she's never seen it. And so
Hannah, do you live under a rock and you're still over here not reading parts of books?
Okay. I was texting her and I was like, Hannah, I need you to read this book right now. It's giving Hannah Montana the movie in the best way possible.
And I was obsessed with Hannah Montana, so I don't know why I've never seen the movie, and I don't know why. I literally don't know why.
Girl, you got Disney Plus?
I'm just going to leave right now and watch it.
Come back. We'll wait.
Yeah. Is my daughter too young to watch it? We'll watch it.
How old is she?
No, it's perfect. She's like, what,
14 months?
Oh, 14 months. Yeah, okay. I was like, 14? No. 14 months, maybe. Attention span.
She'll be fine.
Like, nap on you while you watch it.
Yep, exactly.
No, I loved Hannah Montana.
It's so good.
Some of my friends, like, we were in high school. It was coming out when we were, sophomores. And she came to school as Hannah Montana. It was like the best costume ever. Like she had the wig and she looked so good. And I was like, man, what a great costume. The wig is awesome. But yeah, so I really
and now we have Love is a
War
War Song.
There was a show called Wildfire. Do you remember that? It was like
I feel like
ABC Family.
I've heard of it. I have not watched it, but I definitely the title is very familiar.
I heard someone say it was on Netflix, but I haven't seen it. Maybe, but I don't have time to watch a whole lot of TV. Like I watched The Gilded Age. I'm like, there's my TV for the year. I don't know why I did the Trump voice. I don't know. There it is.
That's the new narration voice, and
yeah, I really like Hannah Montana. That Taylor Swift's in there. She wrote all the songs. It's amazing.
Hannah, Crazier is in the movie. Like I'm confused
I know
as to why you haven't watched it.
Like know the hoedown, throwdown. I don't know.
You can pop it, lock it, polka dot it, but you ain't never seen it?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, girl, get on that. It's free on Disney Plus.
I know. I will. I'll watch it tomorrow.
I know what you're doing this weekend.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to follow up with you.
No, it's so cute, you know, the cowboy. But also, I was like, wow, we've just never. It just came to me.
Yeah.
But I was told, like, my agent was like, you can't call it cowboy or rancher. It's dead. That genre's dead. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like Yellowstone's really hot right now. I think it's gonna come back. And so
Yeah.
I had the pitch, and I started the pages, and because I was gonna sell Ember, and they want to see what else you're doing, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if like they wanted that. So it took several months where I was like, am I going to get to write this book? Like, I have to turn in another book. Am I going to have to come up with another idea? I don't want to. Like, I really want to tell this story. And it was called Love and Other War Songs. But then, titles change in publishing.
Yeah.
So now Love is a war song. But it was a fight. They did not want war song in there. They were like, people are going to think it's about war. And I was like, contextually, I don't think so.
Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but this really screams war to me.
Yeah. Well, I was like, love is a battlefield. And they're like, yeah, but it's like a stereotype. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
But I got it. I got my way. But man, I felt like a toddler having a tantrum. But not really. It was actually, for a few months, it was called Song of the Summer. But then another title at Berkeley had Songs of Summer. And so I was told to change it again. And I was like, well, then give me my damn title back.
Like, clearly it was meant to be.
Yeah, I feel like that's a
other one
sign.
was taken.
No, but, this is what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, titles in Berkeley and we don't get along. Like The Truth According to Denver, I hate that title. That was not.
Wasn't it Little White Lies?
Yes,
I saw it on.
yes.
I think because you posted on Threads.
Yeah, because I want credit that I came up with a good title that was meant for the book.
Yeah.
I'm a genius here.
I wrote it.
You
I
are.
wrote it.
Let
Well,
me-
I didn't have a title for it until I finished the book. It was just called The Letters Indian Romcom, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to call this. She doesn't have a diary, but I call it my Bridget Jones, the indigenous Bridget Jones. Like she's my love letter to the messy millennial. Ember is a mess, and so is Avery. I just write imperfect characters because if they're perfect, that's boring, and I wouldn't
100%.
know. I wouldn't know. I'm like Daniel Day-Lewis with writing. I'm really method about it.
Listen,
I'm over here. I'm a pop star now. Did you hear? No.
Did you see? We're method acting instead of like method acting. It's method writing, and you just turn into the characters. Like you start to embody.
Well, one of my events for this release for Love is a War Song, they were like, with Ember, like it was very personal, and like you got your MBA, and so like with Love is a War Song, like what did you do? And I was like, well, I hate to break it to you. But I did write the song and I did record it with my husband, and
Yes.
I have the voice memos from like when I had the idea after I showered with like a newborn. And I was like, we out here hunting and gathering, searching for love. And then I was like, I have like some really unhinged voice memos, and like if I make it to 10,000 followers on Instagram, okay, I'll release them.
Yes.
Or if it's the New York Times, I'll release them. But like one of them, I was playing around with like Britney, and I was listening to some of her songs, and like she gets like, like that, like kind of thing.
Yes.
Yep.
And like just the random kind of words, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
a tomahawk, throwing around like a tomahawk, and I was like, can we put this? It didn't work. But I was like, so I play the first one, and I was like, babe, you have to listen to this, and he's like holding our baby, and he's listening, and he's like, this is nothing, and I was like, yeah. You'll make it something. And he did not want to. It took a year, and I was like, we have to make the song. I'm telling you, we have to make this song. No one else is doing this, okay? I'm like, it's very crucial for the listening experience because it is catchy. The lyrics are dumb.
It is catchy. We listened to it like as we were picking our songs. We were listening to it as well.
Yeah. Well, I was like, do I just choose that one? Is that what they want from me? And I was like, fuck her, Hannah. Just Cowboy Take Me Away. The easy one.
Yeah.
I was like, someone just went to my playlist.
No, I picked it first, and then I went and I was like, validated. Done.
Sure.
Done.
Sure.
Okay, if you look at my playlist I have that I listen to every day, it's on there because I love the Chicks.
I love the Chicks too, and Faith Hill.
It's good.
Those 90s.
Yes.
I'm like, just give me that. I want that moment where in Practical Magic, that Sandra Bullock's like running in the hunter boots, and she's just like in those short shorts, and her hair, I don't even know if it's in braids or if it's like a Mandela moment, but like she's just like running after the guy like this kiss, you know, like I want that.
Yep.
in my life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they don't make shit like This Kiss or like the Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. Like, I want songs like that again. Like, bring those to me.
So vibey, like Dido's No Angel, that whole album. Give me that.
Yes.
Yes.
Give me that
100%.
again. I just heard that in the grocery store earlier today. Thank you. I was like, oh yeah,
So good.
Okay,
You know, the grocery store playlist. Why do they have so many bangers?
They're so
first
good.
of all,
So Mark Anthony, you know.
Oh,
I just wanted you to comfort me when I called you last night to see. I'm like, oh my god! I see him in the turtleneck, you know, and he's just like, crazy for your love with little glasses. He's like, so good. I hear it every time I'm in the grocery store. I'm like, who's choosing this playlist? Like, it's a banger.
Now it's just like Tim in the back.
Yeah.
He's
now I
just
want to
like,
write a book. I like, you know, I want to write a book that's Mark Anthony song. While you were in front of me, I never realized. It's like, but then you're kind of like, actually, it sucks. Like, you didn't see how great she was until she left. I didn't see
yeah, like kind of a piece of shit, but
right,
like it's a banger. So
when you sang to me.
I don't know what. Also, Hero by Enrique Iglesias.
Hero,
just
oh my
into
god!
my head, like
I was obsessed with Enrique Iglesias in high school. That my 17th birthday, my friend made me a sash that said "Future Mrs. Enrique Iglesias."
Incredible.
But it was like a bit. I commit to a bit. Okay, so I was like, I love Hero.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, okay, Enrique. Though my friend did go see him in concert recently, and he was like drunk and like off. She sent me some videos, and I was like,
oh god,
this is so
like, he
bad.
really fell off.
God, oh my god.
Good thing the sash wasn't like a manifestation.
No. I mean, he's with his Russian model tennis player. Like that's where he's meant to be. I'm with who I'm supposed to be. But there was like the milk campaign in the cafeteria, and there was like stickers of him, and so I stole it. And then I had this locket that I got for cheap at Forever 21, and I put that in there. And then I had another one on my binder, and it was like this whole bit. And my teacher, I remember he was just like, Enrique, really? I was like, yeah, Enrique, for real. That him and Tyson Ritter from All American Rejects. My taste is impeccable.
Okay, but Tyson, he can still get it. Like,
can he? I don't know. I had some secondhand embarrassment when he did the Savannah Bananas thing.
Okay, that maybe,
the Capris,
but like the
I'm like, not the
house parties. I was like, it's like house parties that he's doing. I was like, okay,
I
this
would
is
have
kind of a
been there.
vibe.
I mean, I saw them summer before 9th grade.
Yeah,
it was the best experience of my life at the county fair.
Amazing,
loved it. You know, and I woke up my little CD player, like Dirty Little Secret, like I had programmed. That's how I woke up every morning. Anyway. We're not even in the song section, are we? What's my?
I know we're not. We're
okay, but this is why, like we keep an outline. It's not keeping us on track very much, but we're having a blast doing it anyway.
Listeners,
so, okay, cool.
Are you intrigued yet to buy this book?
Have we sold you yet?
Yeah. Are you ready to read about Avery and Lucas? You don't even know about them yet. That's how good we are at marketing.
I write books and I can talk about music.
It's fine. It's great. So what's been the proudest moment of your writing career so far?
Proudest moment. I mean, like, you know, finishing a book, like that is something that will always make me proud that I did that, because every book, like even though you've done it before, we're in the thick of it. You're like, how the hell am I getting to the end? And so when I finally find the end and I find the words, and when you're fast drafting, it's messy, you know, but when you're refining it and you're reading moments and like crying, like for me, I'll be like writing something, I'm like, you know, and then maybe that's just because I just finished my third book and it wrecked me. A second chance is really hard. Really, I don't know that I'll ever do it again. No, I won't, because there's only so many tropes. But it was fucking hard, you know. But also, you know, being reviewed by the New York Times is great. Though I didn't like this. There was a line in this last one. It was like, another Lucas in my review, because I guess a couple of them had the name Luke or Lucas.
Oh. And
I was like, why is that in my review? That's not my fault.
Yeah.
Like, put that in the summary, but like, why is that in my review? Like, okay.
Like in the review specifically.
In the review, in like the second sentence. So I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry that you don't like Lucas anymore. Not my problem.
It's a hot person name. Noah, Eli, they're all the hot people names right now. How come I don't get to have a Lucas? Have you read a Native American Lucas character yet? No. So I don't think it should be in mine.
So this is,
I agree.
But it's fine.
I'm with
it's
you.
Fine. She said it. You know, the Truth According to Ember review
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the can of beans and the Ziploc bag that Ember puts over them, and it's this throwaway detail that I just, you know, it's for whatever reason the things that reviewers cling to. Like, I'll never forget one editor was like, your conversation on poverty, and I was like, my what? I was like, I just write what I know. Poor people deserve love too.
Social
Okay?
commentary.
No, but for real. But I was like, poor people deserve love too. Okay, not everyone has a. I worked for a billionaire. You nasty. That's a Raven. You're just like, get nasty.
Okay, but real quick, this is another side tangent. Why have full-length That's a Raven episodes been popping up on my FYP on TikTok for the last 3 nights? And I've been sitting and watching them.
That's a Raven is like the best show ever.
It is. I actually liken how scenes come to me when I'm writing as getting a That's so Raven style premonition and then just like putting it on the screen. Yes,
yeah. Exactly. For listeners.
Yeah. You can't see us right now.
I loved it.
The eye.
Just picture.
Well, it's on. If you want to see us, go to YouTube. It's really unhinged right now, but you know, come join us.
Speaking of unhinged, let's just talk about vibes. What is the general vibe check for Love is a War Song?
We can maybe just throw tropes in there too, because we'll probably get off track again.
Yeah, vibe. I'm like, I don't know. Funny. Like, I think it's funny. Like the vibes. It is. It's unhinged. There's some gun-toting grandmas. It's oaky. It's. I wouldn't say earnest. I feel like it's maybe earnest is. I don't know. The importance of being earnest. It's the tropes that I love. You know. Only my spin on only one bed. It's only one tornado storm cellar where they bang. Yes. Only one horse. I will always do that if I can.
Yeah, like, okay, why are people saying that they don't want that anymore?
I feel like it's always one person that like somebody sees it and somebody like has to say something about it and that person has more followers and then it becomes discourse. Yeah. I'm like, it's manipulated. Can I manipulate you into talking about my book so you buy it? Like, this book's right. That's the discourse.
Like, oh no.
Like, let's talk about that.
No, Threads is so toxic. I'm like,
it's so toxic.
After the Threads book club, I'm deleting the app. No one can reach me.
But how am I supposed to see your unhinged thoughts at any given moment?
It pisses people off, Britt, okay? I'm tired of people hating me. The sub-thread. I'm baby girl, okay? I'm too emotional and like sensitive for this job sometimes where I'm like, I didn't know you didn't like me because I just talked about my experience. If for some reason it pissed you off, sorry about it. Like, sorry I exist. Fair. I don't know.
Like, sorry, my bad.
Well, sometimes it feels like, well, you know, like I don't view people as my competition.
Yeah.
I don't think that success is a limited pie. When you're seeing the landscape like it's late stage capitalism, you know, like there's all these special editions of all these old books and those get the shelf space and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not in competition with my fellow authors. I'm in competition with like these retailers like Target who eliminates DEI and all they have are like, well, no, Colleen Hoover and this new edition of Emily Henry that people are already buying, you know, and every version of the Taylor Swift album, and it's like there's limited space for us, and it's like it's manufactured. Like there isn't actually limited space. Like people love reading, and people sometimes they're not perpetually online. Like the average reader,
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like they're shopping
100%.
at Target with their Stanley Cup, and they see something at the cute cover, and like sure, and they think those are the only authors that exist. But you know, I try to just be really transparent about my experience in publishing because you know, with Ember, the first traditionally published Native American rom-com. That was something that press could easily grab. And when it was debuting, people were actively trying to make their lists for summer reads diverse. It's been a very different experience the second time. Luckily, you know, I had my essay about cowboy romance and how cowboy is so hot right now and the shifting to conservative values where it's like hockey, small town, whatever, where no people of color, no LGBTQ plus people exist in these small towns, you know, like where I'm able to fight that and be like, no, we're here. Especially like if you're going to talk about cowboy, it's impossible not to even think about Native Americans.
100%.
I don't know, you know, and especially if you're going to have a cowboy set somewhere like Oklahoma, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, where these towns are named after tribes, these nations in a language. Oklahoma itself is an indigenous word. So, you know, there's just so much erasure, especially in romance, with like decades and decades of like the bodice rippers, where the savage Indian was either stealing the woman, the enemy, or taking the woman, adopting her, and she didn't want to go back to the white people. Like the Western woman loves going into this foreign culture. So that I've been able to be loud and also advocate for myself more. Whereas the first time around, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was kind of like, I just assumed, as this baby author, I thought any book that comes out with a publisher has a chance of being New York Times. I did not know about distribution and like what stores reported and like how important it is to be in these stores. And the retailer numbers signify to the New York Times that they're going to look, you know, I did not have the retailer orders at Barnes & Noble for that book. I went to so many, I wasn't even there. So it's like, it was like the same experience, but I just was more vocal this time because I was like, wait, hold up, you know? And so that gets more attention, but has, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but like basically like perception, like when it comes to, you know, here are some books coming out that remember did not translate to commercial sales. Like, you know, having lists of like, here's the hot rom-coms coming out. Here's a Native American one. That did not sell. So it's like it's an uphill battle constantly. So I just try to be honest because I think perception online, like if you see someone regularly, you think, oh, that person's so it's going so well. And it's like, well, what does that mean? Because I know authors who are selling like 5,000 copies every week consistently all year round.
Yeah.
Not the case for a majority of by marginalized books.
Yeah. I mean, it is a conversation like Hannah and I have had too about very intentionally reading more marginalized authors and also platforming them, talking about them, and getting different experiences. But what you said about people not being chronically online is something that we forget all the time is like, we'll talk to our friends and family about books and they're like, what are you reading? And I'm like, this book, it's so like everyone's talking about it. They're like, who the hell is talking about it? Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, Threads is an echo chamber, right? Like, especially if you're on book Threads, your algorithm has trained you. And so all these people on book Threads, but it's such a small sample size to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Who are on
I went
like
to this
Bitcoin
book club
threads.
last night.
Oh,
yeah.
I went to a book club last night, and even in that space too, they were like talking about this one book, and I'm like, I told you, Britt, how I saw it, and she's like, well, they probably aren't online as much, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Like they just pick up what's good, like you said, at the store, and so
what's heavily featured with the beautiful cover.
Yep. A name that they've heard other people say or seen, like you said, at Target or like at these places that they go to regularly. But well, we've taken about 18 sharp turns here. No. This is our favorite way to do things. But let's just get into spoilers so we can talk like more freely about the actual book itself. So again, if you haven't read Love is a War Song, I don't know what you're doing. Pause the podcast, go read it, come back, because now we have the best of both worlds, Avery's version. We're going to talk about, you know, the book a little bit more in detail. So to kick things off, what was your favorite scene to write in this book? And on the flip side, what was the most challenging scene for you to write?
My favorite scene that I was working toward was the stickball scene with her tooth getting knocked out. I had that planned from the get-go when I had this idea. It was so fun. Like if it was a movie, like the montage, slow-mo, they're stretching, they're playing, they're running with stickball, and it's Barracuda.
Yes.
You know, like Molly's throwing elbows.
Yeah.
And like she's flipping slow-mo.
Yes. It gave me like She's the Band energy a little bit. Yeah, very much.
I was picturing like the Twilight baseball scene.
No, don't do that to me.
That's
dumb. They're like,
it's my
like that is like the most like,
but like in a good way. Okay.
Action packed ever.
It is her favorite though. It's
throw a blue filter on it.
It's the highest compliment coming from me.
No, I had Twilight jokes in there. Did you catch it?
I know. Where the hell have you been, Loca?
I've never seen or read Twilight, so now I'm on like the opposite end of the earth.
Britt living under a rock.
That bubble.
What?
We just take turns alternating,
I was
avoiding
obsessed in
like
high school.
very
They were coming
relevant
out.
pop
I was like,
culture
I need the next
references.
one now.
Yep.
But Stickball. Stickball was so funny. It was so good.
Stickball is more action packed than the Twilight baseball.
It was. It's like the better version, the best version.
The better, not even League with me. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna go watch Hannah Montana, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Hannah's like, I'm gonna see myself out. You guys enjoy the rest of the interview.
Yeah.
But I will say, it made my tooth hurt. So I have like, if somebody is hurt or like pain or broken bone, like I feel it. So when her tooth got knocked out, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, veneer. To be clear, yeah.
Yeah,
she
her veneer.
had shaved her tooth to
That she was like holding, yeah. And that,
put it under her tongue. I love that they just like razz her.
Okay, and also, but Kyla Garcia in the audiobook absolutely nailed this scene. Like, she sold it so well.
Mm-hmm.
I am obsessed with Kyla. And I had messaged her, I DM'd her when I found out that was confirmed that she was going to do it and start recording it. And I was just like, hey, like, when you're recording, it'd be really cool. Like, would you be down to send me a video of you in the studio reading the title, my name and your name? And so she did. She was just so gracious and lovely. And then I got this message from her like a week later. And she was like, I'm back in the studio and I have this video for you, but it's really long. So I have to send it a different channel. So I was like, okay. And she's like, I edited it down. She's like, the edited one you can post, but the longer one's for you. And it was like just the director, the sound engineer, and Kyla laughing like crazy, like over this scene. It was so funny and so cute. And she was just like, we were laughing so hard that I had to keep re-recording. And I was just like, that's amazing. And she's like, this needs to be a movie. Like they're like, this is a movie, you know? And like, that's how I wrote it. I was like, I want it just like, how would I see it on screen? Like, how can I let you in my brain? And the stickball scene, which, you know, I write a little bit about it in the author's note, but typically there's the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, and they have the tournaments and they have the 2 goalposts. And so it's much more violent and people are, you know, but typically when you go to like an annual gathering, like the Chickasaw or the Cherokee, or usually it's one and it's boys versus girls. Yeah. It's just the one, but that's like less cinematic. So I chose I chose the 2 because
we got to get more violent.
Yeah, more violent. I needed that tooth to come out, and I didn't know that they're going to let me keep that in. For a rom-com, I was like, is this too much? But yeah, I was like, yeah. And then I did I did a video on Instagram. I blacked out a tooth.
We'll have to go find that video.
And I did it to the Hannah Montana song. I'm just an ordinary girl. And Threads was like, oh, can we do another video? Can you get on a horse? And so like I did. But they're like, we really loved the tooth video. And like, it's just so endearingly like lacking in vanity. And it was like,
I do what I can to please the masses.
Listen, I love a joke. I laugh with me, not at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the funnest scene, the one I look forward to. The hardest scene to write was, well, I wouldn't say. So there's the only one horse scene that was not originally in the first draft, and my editor wanted, you know, like she wanted them on a horse going out, and so I added, you know, them looking for this horse, which I loved, but at first I was just kind of like, I don't know, is it any good? And then the honky tonk scene, my editor made me rewrite 3 times, only to go back to the first version. So I rewrote it because she wanted this thing, and I was just like, but that happens. It's repeating a beat. She's like, I just want to see it. So I did it. She's like, no, not quite. I want this. You know, I tweaked it. And then she's like, no, you're right. Go back to the original. I was like, the amount of red lines on this page, I was like, but you know, it was reassuring that like, you know, what I had, that was also a moment like honky tonk. This book wrote itself. I knew where I was going. And then the Graham Norton show, which again, I was like, am I going to be allowed to have this with Pom Pom and Lance, the who was modeled after. There's a show called Glow Up on Netflix.
I love Glow Up.
My husband and I will watch
so
it,
good.
and so it was modeled after, the pink eyebrows.
Yes.
I was like, that's him basically. So if I ever get a movie,
Yeah.
I want him in the Glow Up guy.
I love it.
And so I was watching a lot of that, like, babes,
Yes.
and how they always say babes.
Babes, and then what was it? Oh, doesn't she? Ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong. Time for a conflab. So that was like heavily inspired. But like when she's trying to leave, and I was like, potty humor. Like I'm a cheap date. Potty humor, like the easiest thing to get me to laugh in a movie. And so she's just like, we need more toilet paper in here. I was like, well, they let me keep this in here. I don't know. And then the ending. Okay, so the end I did rewrite because originally, because they mentioned that Carrie Underwood is Muskogee. That's real. That's true. And so I was like, oh, in a movie, like you just have like the credits, Carrie Underwood would come out. And so I had her come out, and then my editor was like, this should be Avery's moment, And I was like, okay, in the movie, I'll try to get Carrie Underwood. But now she's like, nah, I guess not.
So maybe not. But
I was like, oh, damn.
We'll do like the idealized version of Carrie Underwood in our heads.
Yeah, but lessons learned, that song, like, we were voting for her on American Idol. My mom was like, I knew an Underwood. And I'm like, yeah, they're all related. They probably were.
Probably.
Probably
somewhere down the line.
Yeah. But she's from Oklahoma. My mom's like, I think I know. Gotta vote for her.
That's funny. So Love is a War Song is a beautiful blend of romance, Native representation, and family bonds. How is it tying all of these pieces together?
It just felt like being home, especially when I'm writing. It's just me. It's just me and the page, and like me and these characters, and it's just I'm chasing joy. I'm like, how can but then there are moments where, I was worried. There's 3 generations of women, and it's a complicated, generational trauma, and like Lottie, and it's not easy, and in real life, those things don't get solved with a magic wand or whatever. It's complicated, and I wanted to leave room for that, but the story of Lottie and what happened to drive Hattie away, and then Hattie, how she controls Avery, and like being enamored with the money. You see that a lot with, Shia LaBeouf and these other documentaries of these child actors. And so I drew on a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then for community aspect, I just focused on how similar Muskogee, because it's a southeastern tribe from the removal, is the Chickasaw Nation, and like not include spiritual. And like I did get a couple people, in my DMs, like, he didn't really teach her how to be Indian. I was like, well, what do you think that looks like?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, and I'm not going to give you this blueprint, because for every person, for every tribe, it's going to be a different experience with how connected you are. And enrollment, blood quantum, these things are very complicated. And I didn't want to have this work, where I'm putting some like stance on that. Like, and it's the end all be all. So I tried to make it really nuanced. And so that's why you have all the criticism, and I listed out, and when she's like canceled and before, and then people who do defend her. Molly was like, oh, we claim her, like, we like her, you know. And when I go back to the Chickasaw Nation, and I took my husband and my daughter there for the first time. It was the second time for my husband. It was just, it's so welcoming. Nobody there is like asking your blood quantum. They're asking, oh, who's your grandpa? Oh yeah, did he work here? When I took my husband to the cultural center for the first time, we were newly engaged, and we were moving to Chicago, and we like stopped there, and there's like a genealogy center, and found my great grandmother on the Dawes rolls, and he was like, oh, you are Chickasaw. Like, so who's your grandpa? I said, and he was just like, oh, did he work here? Like, I knew him. I was like, yeah, they called him Red. I was like, he had red hair and a guitar, and he's like, yeah, and like, that's how small and close knit the community is. Like, you can find those connections, and like, if you have those real connections, they're so willing to let you in and be a part of. But there are people who do take advantage, right? And they create these genealogies, these stories, because they have lore that's been passed down in the family that's not exactly accurate, and they don't try to connect in a right way. I was really worried about the pretending aspect, because I was like, oh my gosh, there were recent events that happened, and I was just like stressed out about it, but I just have to like let the work speak for itself and hope that I provided a fair, leveled, nuanced conversation within the book. And it's also a really fun time that, it is Native American representation. I felt like I wrote it in a way that anybody from any walk of life can read it and enjoy it. And also learn something new, that, we belong here and we are here, and you encounter us every day. And, instead of pretending that we don't exist, like we do, and like, how can we be more welcomed?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like it read very much just like, there were different pieces of life, but it read just like, I don't want to say just like any other romance story, but truly, like, these were two characters that have the same emotional arcs through other romance stories, but they just so happen to be Native, and they have different experiences that kind of shape how they view things. But like, this fits. Like, this is a story that anyone could enjoy 100% without having any prior knowledge or experience with it. And kind of leading into that too, like the locations and the characters, did you pull any specifically from personal experiences when you were writing this one?
Yeah, I went to Broken Arrow with my husband and my daughter, and it's just such a picturesque town. Like, it needs to be in a Hallmark movie. Like, it's just so cute. And I was like, I'm setting it here. And it was really important to me that it was a real location. Same with Ember. I feel like a lot of these small towns, cowboys especially, they're made up towns where it's easy to erase poverty. It's easy to erase people of color and gay people. And it's like, oh, it's escapism porn, right? Like, oh, you don't have to worry about anyone who doesn't look like you, who's not blonde, blue-eyed, and white. And so it was just so important to me that, no, it's a real place in Oklahoma that you can go to. And the joke is that, Avery calls it some small town. It's 100,000 people. Like, it's the second largest city in Oklahoma. But compared to Los Angeles, which is millions, like, it's 8 million people, it does seem very small. But it is quite big. But then when you're in the more rural areas where it's ranch life, like, it is a trek to get places. But like the city proper, everything you need is there. So that was important to me. I've never been to London, so I don't know. I just made shit up.
It was believable. I've been there once.
Oh, yeah.
You were good.
Perfect.
Yep.
I read Paddington. No, I'm just kidding.
All you need to know.
Sometimes I watch the Great British Bake Off, Yep. I feel like that's close enough, right?
So now a fun question for you. If you had to choose between the pop star or the ranch life, which one would you choose?
Ranch life, for sure. Hands down.
Yeah. I'm not outdoorsy, and I feel like I would be a terrible pop star. So what's the middle option here?
The or.
No, ranch life, I mean, like, you don't have to, you can make it what you want. You don't have to get horses. You don't have to get cows. You can just have a garden.
Totally.
Or, like, have a beautiful landscape. I feel like there's more, being a pop star. I mean, I did acting and modeling. I tried to do that after high school. I did that for a couple of years. I did a lot of music videos, and the sets, like, you're there all like 24 hours. It's exhausting being in heels, being in makeup. I didn't like anything about it.
Yeah, I think
so now you get to live vicariously through Avery.
Yes.
Yeah. I would, like, if I was forced to choose, I would definitely choose ranch life. Don't make me a pop star, please.
You can get a cute little miniature horse. You have to get a big one.
Okay, little Sebastian. Like, yes, slay. And then one last question about, like, the book in general too. But what is the one thing that you hope readers take away from Love is a War Song?
Community, and that we are, and it's a line in the book, that we are more than the sum of our mistakes, and that's not to say that, like, there are some people who do really horrible things, but us average people who do make mistakes, we're not defined by them, and Lucas, he, suffers and is conquered, he's a recovering addict. And, it's a close story. I'm not a recovering addict, but it's very close to my family. And, the covenants of, like, AA and stuff is like, you're worthy of a second chance. You're worthy to amend and do better and live life, and like you belong in this life. And so sometimes I do think that when we see discourse online where people pile on and they get so angry, and it's like, no, you've made a mistake. And I'm not talking about J.K. Rowling, who's like a true villain, but there's other people who've made mistakes, and it's piled on where nothing that person can say or do or apologize will ever make some of these people happy. It's almost like they want them to not exist anymore. And that is such a harmful thing. And maybe it's because like I was around during the MySpace era.
Yes.
And I was cyberbullied in middle school. And people sent death threats and like telling me to unalive myself like when I was in middle school. And I don't know how anyone can tell another person that, and like we do see these atrocities in the news and the wars that are happening. And these people who are suffering are just like us, and they don't deserve that. And we are in a position, it's 2025, we as a society don't have to allow that, actually, and I'm just trying to really live my life with empathy and kindness, but not just always be nice to people who don't deserve it. Like, you have boundaries, but I try to just have empathy for people, especially people outside of, my own experience. And I don't think that people are worth like nothing just because, the mistakes that they make. And I just hope that people can forgive themselves. Because like I've made mistakes. I've spoken out of turn. I was raised in a very Christian conservative household and told to register as Republican when I turned 18. And, there's just a lot of things that I regret when I was young and dumb, and Fox News was just on constantly in my house. And so I would like study current events and write my social studies, and I'd be like quoting Fox News like a Fox News parrot. I'm embarrassed. But if I had to live with those mistakes my whole life, like, I feel like I've definitely have grown. I am not that. I've left the church. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm advocating, it's like we as humans can evolve. We can be good. We can be kind. We can also be very harmful to each other. But we don't have to be that way. And so, Love is a War Song is a funny, cheeky rom-com, but I also think it's, it's a love letter to people and just how flawed we are. But, we can do better, I think.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of deeper. It's funny though.
Yeah.
They bang.
It is funny.
It is.
Again, only one storm cellar.
Yes. But you see online, it's so easy for someone online to be judgmental. It's so easy.
Yes.
And I've never seen so many perfect people than I have online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
and I've seen people say like, there's just so much, people are just grasping for control right now. And they feel like it gives them like this much more power and control. And they feel like they're impacting things in a positive way. When in reality, like you said, it's causing so much harm to just pile and pile and pile.
Like, do I think there's criticism that's fair? Yes. But the way that's how it just, it's like, that's why I just have to delete the apps and I have to get offline, because like I'll see stuff, and I'm a sensitive person, I'm a Pisces sun sign. Moon is Sagittarius, Leo rising.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what
I'm also a Leo rising.
We just did a whole episode about zodiac signs.
We did books as zodiac signs that came out today. It's a whole thing, but we're water signs too. We're very emotional.
Yeah, I'm a sensitive person. I don't think that makes me less than, or like,
No.
Some people are like, oh, you're just a sensitive, and like it discredits you. And it's like, well, so what's wrong with being sensitive? I feel like there's a problem with people who like disregard feelings on, and it's just like you
Totally.
So I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
You are.
I want for all of us to live full, authentic lives. And, but there are people who are evil and don't deserve to be in power and don't deserve to keep making money. And, it sucks that the world has, through their own machinations, right, through late stage capitalism, been made to like help them keep making money, keep moving up, keep going forward. But I don't know. I don't think that any person is like so far gone that they don't deserve to be here and like do better. But of course, a person has to want to do better and want to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like Avery, right? She just didn't know.
There's some things, yeah, truly you just don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And if you're open to learn and to grow and to do better and be better, like,
Sorry, it's
people
frozen.
can't grow if they're not given the opportunity to actually learn. Okay, perfect. So we'll dive into, Hannah, do you want to jump into like the song discussion, and
Yes.
then we'll run through here? Beautiful.
All right, so now we're going to discuss our songs. And we did, like I said earlier, find the playlist on Spotify, listen to the track for Warrior Tonight, and you can see the star power of Avery right there. Like, good inspiration. Great.
Yes.
But let's hear a little bit about your song, Danica, and why you picked it.
Yes. So I love Asanabi, who is an Indigenous Canadian artist who he sounds like Kings of Leon, like neo soul, like new soul, alternative, and just I love Asanabi's voice and his album. I think I have War Cry on there, but Here and Now is from his LP that came out last year, and it came out as I was like really in the drafting zone of Love is a War Song, and he has this the refrain, the pre-chorus. Why does my mind skip like a stone and I can't let go? You know, I'm anywhere but here and now, and I just feel like that's such an embodiment of like my anxiety. Like I'm the future tripper, hardcore, you know, and I'm just like, oh my God, if this happens, and like I will really just like my anxiety, I will just crash out on like, oh my God, if this happens, you know, and my husband's always like, one day at a time, one thing at a time. And, you know, and I'm always like, how come I just can't be here and now? And I heard this song and I was like, oh my God, it's like he's speaking to me. And there's a moment where Avery is like, I'm here and now. And she's at the ranch and she's just like, I'm going to try. And I just love the song so much. And I'm just like, how can I get Asanabi to perform near me? Because I want to see him live so bad. I'm like his biggest fan. He followed me back on Instagram.
Obsessed.
I was like, what?
Did you die?
Yeah. I was like, is it because I'm blue check verified? Not that I'm going to lord it over people, but did you know I'm blue check verified?
It had to be the blue check.
Kind of a big deal. I'm like famous now. You can't say shit to me. I'm blue check verified. There's my Adam Sandler voice. Thank you for noticing. How about that?
Since we don't have our camera, we're just gonna like put Adam Sandler.
We'll just a
yes,
it's literally just Adam Sandler over your picture.
I watched 50 First Dates like a couple weeks ago. It did not age. I was like,
no.
Well, it's like some of it's like really great.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, this is a lot of transphobic humor that's awful. And then Rob Schneider, where he's doing, you know, parts of it, I'm like, okay, he's Filipino, but like, okay. And then he's like doing a hula and singing, and it's like so offensively bad, bro. Like, this is just.
Yeah.
Yeah, some things just truly do not stand the test of time.
Oh. But Love is a War Song. Well, I'm just kidding.
Love is a War Song will absolutely stand the test of time. It'll stay on your bookshelf forever, a million years. And everyone should listen to all of these songs, and especially the very generic song that Hannah picked that
I couldn't no,
it's so good. It's so good.
I chose Cowboy Take Me Away by the Chicks. And I mean the whole song, but the lines that really stuck out to me that like screamed Avery and Lucas was like, I want to look up at the horizon and not see a building standing tall. I want to be the only one for miles and miles, except for maybe you and your simple smile. Oh, it sounds so good to me. And it's just like classic country love song, and why not pick the Chicks?
It's perfect. That was like another one that I was writing to on repeat.
Yeah.
And Lucas, he's got
good.
You know, he's got a hawkish nose and he's got a canine tooth that comes forward. He doesn't have a perfect smile, so like his lip kind of gets hooked on it, snaggletooth a little bit. Sexy.
I love that.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah. Snaggletooth in a sexy way.
Yeah, you know, but like my teeth were effed up. That's what I was told by all these casting directors. I got them fixed now. So, but you know, how come British people are allowed to have effed up teeth?
Yeah.
And they get cast as Americans all the time, but Americans can't have FWP? Like, I don't know.
That's true. I don't know. I just find like I love little like quirks to
Mm-hmm.
people like that.
We're
I just
all
love that.
different, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I did post, somebody made a comment about the cover, like a 1-star review about the nose, and like it just really offended me. And
Yeah.
like I was made fun of my nose all the time. And what's so interesting is like all growing up was like, oh, you look so Indian, like in my family, like you're so dark, your nose is so prominent. And then
Yeah.
when I went out into the world and schools and people never heard of the Chickasaw Nation and stuff like that, they're just like, well, you don't look Indian. How much blood are you? And I'm just like, wait, what? Like growing up, I'm hearing I do, and like going to school in California, I don't. And then trying to act in Hollywood, I wanted to get cast in New Moon. They had an open casting call on MySpace. And I wasn't allowed, even with my tribal ID, because I didn't look enough. But Taylor Lautner was full on casted.
But Taylor Lautner, who is not on,
with that horrible wig.
Yeah,
I
it's
I
bad.
It.
That wig was rough.
I
At the
saw
time,
those movies.
you know, it was.
They're still bad. It's just a story, Bella. I'm not on camera, but like I do an impression. He's like comes out of the bushes, like you know, at the prom. He's just like, "Hey, Bella,"
Right.
and it's just like, where did he come from? He has got no car. They make a point of like, and you know, he's not a wolf yet. He didn't run. Where'd he come? He's just in the bushes. And she's like, oh, hey, Jacob. Thanks for coming to my prom. It's weird.
Britt, you gotta one day we'll just have a movie marathon. We'll start with Hannah Montana.
I promise I'll watch them one day. Yeah. Yeah. No, Hannah Montana is this weekend.
It'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll do it. Committing.
It's fine. Perfect. So I picked a song that's so random, but I listened to it and like I don't know. I picked Name by the Goo Goo Dolls, but for this one like particular verse was just, and scars are souvenirs you never lose. The past is never far. And did you lose yourself somewhere out there? Did you get to be a star? And don't it make you sad to know that life is more than who we are? And this just felt like a very cozy song about them like taking a step back and Avery and Lucas realizing like for Avery, like the lineage that she always hoped for, like the story was not what she expected or anticipated. But she got far more out of it than she would have realized with Lottie being on the ranch, being away from the stardom. And I don't know, there was just something about it that just, the Goo Goo Dolls are like a classic, like timeless group to me. So I feel like this kind of gave me that, like their relationship kind of gave me that timeless energy. So that's why I ended up picking that song.
I love it. The Goo Goo Dolls are having such a renaissance right now. Dizzy Up the Girl, that album, like talk about Dido, No Angel, like Dizzy Up the Girl. Like that is also an album that's just like no skips, so vibey, of a time, of an era. And Johnny Resnick's voice, so good.
It's incredible. But yeah, I heard it and I said, Hannah, I think I'm doing it. I was like, should I pick a country song? She goes, no, it's fine. I picked one. I said, okay, perfect.
It's whatever you want. Yeah. You don't have to do only country. I mean, she's a pop star. I was listening to J-Lo, On the Floor, Britney.
Hell yeah.
Till the World Ends,
So
Hold
good.
It Against Me. All of that. Robin, Dancing on My Own.
Yes.
And so when she goes, oh, that's like, that was, a callback to Robin. And then the oh, and Britney, the chorus is
Yep.
And I Need a Warrior Tonight. I did all of that on purpose with my husband. I gave him a bunch of songs, and I was like, we got to do this. And I was like, hand drums. I tried to make a flute happen, and the flute, it just didn't work. So it was the hand drums.
I love it. All right, we're going to wrap up here, but we know that you said you have another book coming out with Berkeley next year. Any other new projects that you're working on you want to talk about? Anything else that you want to add about what's to come for the readers? Anything like that?
Yeah, so my next book, it's not announced yet. When can I announce it? I don't even know, but it comes out next fall. This one's going to be a later release. It's not going to be summer. It's going to be weird not having a summer release, but, life, day job, couldn't do it. But it's a second chance. I'm not allowed to have the title that it has, so I'm not going to say it because it's not going to be the title. But the Untitled Wars continue with Berkeley. But it's about this Chickasaw woman who she grew up in Love County, Oklahoma, and she got a scholarship to UC Berkeley in California. And so she's been working a lucrative tech job, but she hates it, and it's awful. And she quits her job in a very explosive fashion. And she lost her grandma. She's not close with anybody. And she thinks back of like her happiest memories was at this farm called Sunshine Farms. It's a sunflower farm, and they also have like Christmas, pumpkins and things like that. But in the late summer, early fall, the sunflowers, and there's a photo, and so she looks it up and sees that it is in a foreclosure, and they're having a land auction. So she has uprooted her life. She drives days, gets to Oklahoma, shows up for this land auction, and wins it. She beats out a investor guy in the area, and he's pissed off about it. And when she goes to move in, half of the field is on fire, and there's a fireman putting it out, like a bunch of firemen, but the one in particular is Noah, her first love, who broke her heart. Her name's
We've
June.
just converted
so
Brit to Second Chance.
Yes.
Just converted? What,
second...
you've never read Persuasion?
No, listen, I was a second chance skeptic. I've read some really good second chance romances, but I've also read a bunch that I'm like, these people don't belong together. Why are you convincing me they belong together? But I have been fully converted officially.
Good.
So perfect timing.
Yes.
I
Perfect
love
timing.
a second chance. Like, and because like Jane Austen was OG, right?
We love it. All right. So thanks so much for turning the pages with us this week. And a huge thank you again to Danica Nava for joining us, talking about Love is a War Song and just about everything else. So Danica, where can everyone follow and support you moving forward?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram where I'm blue check verified at Danica_Nava, DANICA_NAVA. And I'm on Threads with the same handle. And that's about it.
Perfect.
Threads for now.
For now.
For now. Well, I'll take a break. I come back. I got too much to say.
Yes, we would miss you. And also be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, join our Patreon, and sign up for our mysterious newsletter to keep up with everything on the other side of the page.
Hannah will have the newsletter up eventually, guys. We're going to keep saying it until we manifest it into reality. So in the meantime, please drop a review and a 5-star rating of the podcast on your preferred platform and share it with your bookish besties.
Next week, we are still at the restaurant because of some of our favorite books, and we will be telling you about them in our Dear Reader episode.
Yes. And forever and always,
Keep reading with kindness.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. You do the Trump voice.
And that's a wrap.